Welcome back. You're still watching Market View. This is the Tuesday edition. My name is Lungile Makakula. Thank you for staying with us. In 3 months, the Minister of Commerce, Industry and Trade will have completed the formation of the Citizens Economic Empowerment Act regulations. The Director of Small and Medium Enterprises, Mluleki Dlamini, says the council, which was recently announced by the Minister, Honorable Manqaba Khumalo, wants to ensure by the end of the year that businesses start reaping the benefits of the act. Business journalist Nelson Ngamandla had a sit-down interview with the director on how SMEs will benefit from the act.
Welcome, Director. It's been 2 weeks since the Minister launched the Citizens Economic Empowerment Council. What is the next step now for the Council?
Thank you very much, Ngamandla. We are now in the process of developing regulations that will ensure that we implement the provisions of the Act. You will recall that there are quite a number of issues that are in the Act, or I would say areas that the Council will be working on. One of those critical areas is the issue of preferential procurement and issues of investment, whether foreign or domestic investment, and also general issues which speaks to issues of regional development and also supportive culture. So basically the regulations will be spanning across all of these areas in terms of what are the sort of the issues that we see as bottlenecks that hinders the benefit in terms of local businesses in the economy. So the regulations as will be developed will just appeal to all stakeholders, particularly the business community, to come on board to contribute effectively into the development of these regulations, because they are the anchor of the implementation of this act. So basically all of these contributions are the ones that will shape the documents and also areas of interventions, and will then be implemented by the Council in terms of compliance. Take, for instance, if we can say other sectors are reserved for local businesses, the Council will make sure that if in the regulations that has been highlighted, it will make sure that businesses or entities comply with that provision. So basically, if we are saying that a certain area or economic area in the economy is reserved for local businesses, we need to make sure that that happens. Also continuing from that, if we are saying that in terms of investment, certain businesses will then have to be in joint venture with their foreign businesses as they continue exploiting that particular economic sector. So that basically will be the way in which the Council will be functioning. So it is very critical now, because when you look at the Act, it does stipulate that these are the provisions that needs to be implemented to better understand and also make sure that local businesses benefit out of this Act, because we are saying it is a Citizen Economic Empowerment Act. So it is focusing mainly on local businesses in terms of their benefit.
We have been in constant engagement with Small and Medium Enterprises Director on this show, and we have seen the hunger and the eagerness for them to contribute to the country's economy. When can we expect this process of forming the regulations to start?
We are anticipating that we should be starting this process in the next month, which basically would be once we finalize all the terms of reference of the consultant and also the time frame, because we are not anticipating to take a longer period to conclude this work. So we're looking at in the next 2-3 months we should be able to have the regulations ready, because the Council will be the one that will be spearheading this process.
Small and medium enterprises and startups play a crucial part in economic development, Director. Will they also be given a chance to have an input on these regulations? Yes.
Yeah, so basically in terms of the participation of businesses in this consultative process, we will then be convening various meetings, stakeholder meetings, which basically will be scoping. So all businesses will participate in this process. There are no particular businesses that are targeted, but we are saying that all businesses with potential of benefiting out of this Act will be invited to come through make their inputs. Then from there, the consolidation will be done by the consultant that is currently being commissioned to do this work. Also, we are looking at a regional benchmark exercise that will be done with the consultant as well, to ensure that we do not in a way try to invent something that is already existing in other countries. So we'll be looking at what is the regional practice so that we also align ourselves in terms of regional practices. The invitations will be coming through once we have set out the schedule for the consultation, then we'll start the process.
The Citizens Economic Empowerment Act is at the heart of the Minister of Commerce, Industry and Trade. At every event, we see the Minister advocating for this act. When can we expect this act to start working?
It's a game changer for all of us. So we believe that it will indeed make an impact in terms of local businesses benefiting in the economy of Eswatini. So basically, our aim is to have everything in place before the end of this year, and we should be able, because once the regulations are in place, we should be able to then start looking at issues of compliance with the regulations, then after that, seeing the benefits coming through.
Maybe you can go back and highlight to us, for someone who's just seeing this conversation on the Citizens Economic Empowerment Act for the first time, what is it that this act contains that will be beneficial, especially for small and medium enterprises, Director?
Indeed, the benefits, when we look at issues of procurement, we want to see in terms of the nature of procurement that is happening in the economy and who are participating in those procurement activities, so that we can now reserve a certain allocation for local businesses. Also in other areas where we've got capacity by local businesses, we will be saying that let them have a share in terms of their benefit. So it will just be a consultative process that will culminate into businesses now having a share in terms of maybe a procurement allocation countrywide. And also when you look at investment, do we have local businesses investing in certain areas of the economy? If there are issues, what are those issues? Then we address them. Then from there we'll be seeing local businesses participating fully into the local economy in terms of investment. And as I highlighted, in terms of regional development, we want to see why are businesses not establishing in other areas and being concentrated in urban areas. So we'll then see if there are incentives that can be provided for businesses to also establish in areas that are remote, and in that way benefit those local communities. And also the issue of a supportive culture. We want to look at, as you mentioned, issues of startup. What are the issues that are affecting startup in terms of even their growth? Then from there, put those mitigation measures in place.
The Minister of Commerce, Industry and Trade Director has been busy at work moving away from the Citizens Economic Empowerment Act. You are also reviewing the investment policy of the country. How is the investment policy going to help shape up the economic landscape, especially for local businesses?
On the issue of the Investment Act that is currently being reviewed, we're looking at having that process benefiting also local businesses from startup to small, and gradually increasing into medium enterprises that would be able to now exploit markets that are outside the country, because we cannot focus inward only. We really need to look at external markets for businesses to grow. And also the issue of getting those products they produce into the local markets, because we've seen that a majority of our businesses do import their products. So we just want to first start by encouraging some manufacturing that needs to happen internally, so that they are able to also produce products that can be traded in the market and eventually be exported, because their growth potential lies in that area.
how will you ensure that we have enough businesses that will invest locally, as you are saying that in these two documents that there are some sectors that are going to be reserved for locals? Singadikhanzi phela director ukhanze ukuthi sekunebantfu labafisile lababuya ngaphandle labafise ku-investa khona la ngekhatsi eveni kepha thina sesithi hayi thina lokhu sikubekele sive semaswati.
Yeah, in terms of the reservation of sectors, we will indeed consult extensively on that, look at the capacity locally and match it into that reservation, because we cannot fully close out that sector. But what we'll do, look at what magnitude can we then allocate for local businesses, not to completely say there will be no foreign participants in that sector, but we are saying a certain portion of that sector needs to benefit local businesses.
Thank you so much, Director, for taking your time to talk to us today. We know that government has said small and medium enterprises are the engine to economic growth, and we are hoping that the Citizens Economic Empowerment Act, as well as the investment policy, will level the field for small and medium enterprises.
That was Nelson Ndangamandla having an interview with Meluleki Dlamini, Director SMEs at the Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Trade, who said in 3 months the ministry will have completed the formation of the Citizens Economic Empowerment Act regulations. We'll go for an ad break. We connect with Senator Spear after the break.
Hi,